Hello there guys, coming to you back here for another channel here about our Alaska series. So today we're going over the vaccine requirements and testing, all that good stuff from Vancouver, Canada. So we make our way up there on May 4th. Got some interesting information here, so stay tuned if you're cruising out of Canada this year on Princess. So first up, you do need to be 100% vaccinated, which that means 14 days before the cruise you have to have your second shot of the vaccine. So if you're within 10 days or less of the 14 days, sorry, but you are not able to go on the cruise in Canada out of Vancouver to Alaska this year. The requirement is 14 days after your second shot. Then you're able to go on the cruise. So you don't have to have the booster yet. It's not a requirement, but you always want to check on the Princess website to see what the requirement is for your sailing. But as of today, April 25th, there is no requirement for having a booster to go to Canada on an Alaska cruise. Secondly, up is going to be testing. So testing is working differently this year in Canada to the US here. It's different rules than sailing here in the US that we might be used to for testing. So yes, you do need to get a test. Can be either an angient, a rapid test, a rapid angient, a test at home angient test, or also a PCR, a rapid PCR that you can get from your doctors or at a Walgreens or CVS locally here in the US. So that's a good thing too with Princess. It's going to be 72 hours before your cruise that you're able to take your test. And you're going to be able to take the test anywhere here in the US. You don't have to take it over in Canada in Vancouver, which is good to know. So if you are staying one night before in Vancouver, I would sign up 3 days before the cruise for an appointment and get your PCR test so you get it back in time for the cruise. So you're able to get 3 days before your test, 72 hours for a rapid PCR test or any PCR test. But for angient test, it's only going to be 48 hours or 2 days before. So if you leave on a Sunday, you need to get it on a Friday. If you leave on a Monday, you need to go on Sunday, etc., etc. So again, for the angient test, it's 2 days, around 48 hours before you go. They do offer angient test, rapid test, and PCR test on the spot at the Vancouver airport for about $70, I've been hearing online. I would check out the Vancouver website for that, all in that information. So don't just go off my information. I always recommend to do your own research before making your trip over to Alaska this year, because things will be changing day to day. It seems like a couple weeks ago you had to only have 1 day before to get your angient. Now they made it 2 days, which makes it a lot easier for us traveling over to Alaska this year for the Alaska cruise. Let's see here. I got a list here. So do not forget, I forgot, we got the COVID card, your vaccine card. You do not have to bring that with you. You just need a digital copy. You can bring the original with you. It's more helpful. Or you can get on your phone, or sometimes even the state, I know here in California they have the QR code where it shows all your information. You just need the QR code. But it's always good to have the backup if you do have the COVID card with you. It just makes the process so much easier at the port. From my experience this year cruising, it's always nice to have your stuff ready, your paperwork, all your COVID stuff, your COVID test printed out. You can have it on your phone, but it's always good just to have it printed out. Show the agent, boom, boom, and you're off to your vacation on Princess Cruises or any cruise line. So again, just to sum up the requirements this year, if you are heading out to British Columbia, Victoria for your Alaskan cruise, you do need to be vaccinated within 14 days after your second shot. So Again, if you have not got your second shot and your cruise is coming up in 2 weeks, better get it done now or it's going to be too late. And then you do need to get a COVID test, either a rapid PCR 3 days before your cruise. You can start taking it 3 days before your cruise up to the cruise date. And then the antigen you cannot take until 2 days before your cruise, and that's the rapid or any at-home test that's where a doctor or a nurse watches you perform your test. So again, 3 days for PCR, 2 days for antigen. You do need to show that to get on the cruise, but you do not need a test to go to Canada this year. So that's a great thing to know. You do not need a test to go into Canada, but you do need a test for the cruise ship. So if you're a last minute person, you can get the test right when you get into the Vancouver, Canada airport, and get that before you go down to your hotel or down to the port to catch the ship. And one last reminder, again, a thing I forgot, but I'm bringing it up now. You will need to get tested to come back home, but if you look on the Princess website, they will provide you all the information on that to get back to the U.S. if you're flying back from Vancouver into the States, and they take care of all the charges for that. So there's no charge for getting that PCR or antigen test, whatever test you need. Go to guest services and they will provide that for you 1 day or 2 days, whatever you need, before you sail back into Vancouver, and you're able to catch the plane back to the US, because you will need a test to get back into the US. So make sure you do get tested, unless you would like to keep on cruising in Alaska, which is fun to me, so I'm just kidding. Make sure you guys get tested to come back home. Make sure you follow all the Princess guidelines they have on their website. It's very helpful and very informative. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's all enjoy the Alaska season this year safely and have fun out there at sea. Catch you guys later.